Details about Prince Andrew's settlement have emerged this morning. Royal editor Russell Myers joins me.
So, they say every family has that awkward moment when a newcomer forgets the uncle's name. But most families don't televise it beside a 96-year-old monarch. Picture it. Meghan Markle, still fresh from Hollywood, turns to Prince Harry at Windsor and whispers, "Who's the chap next to your gran?" The chap, of course, is Prince Andrew, the Queen's second son, the focal point of half a decade's worth of headlines. Was Meghan genuinely clueless? Or was it the slickest performance since Suits faded to black? That single exchange lit a fuse on a much bigger mystery. Had Meghan really stumbled into royalty? Or had she been circling the palace perimeter for years, hidden in plain sight? When you rewind to her Northwestern days, Meghan's resume looks textbook.
Very surprising, is this?
Yes.
Do tell.
Well, I mean, you're probably thankful of other events not being in the newspapers recently. However, we know that Prince Andrew had settled this huge multi-million-pound settlement with his sex abuse accuser, Virginia Giuffre. Now, it has emerged in the papers today that Prince Charles has apparently lent him some of the money.
Theater major, model UN, a 5-week embassy internship in Buenos Aires. What rarely makes her own highlight reel is the 3-month study abroad semester that followed in Madrid, an immersion program that classmates remember. University records confirm, yet Meghan almost never mentions. Those same classmates recall her disappearing each summer with tales of Mediterranean adventures that sounded more a Bravo special than a backpacker hostel. She'd return raving about yachts, island villas, and patrons whose surnames read like stock exchange tickers. Nobody knew how she funded it. The stories seemed too glossy for a scholarship kid with tent job pay. Now let's fast forward to 2013 and a rainy night in London's Sanctum Soho bar. Tabloid columnist Katie Hind meets Meghan over Prosecco. The actress is polite, low-key, and laser-focused on getting UK press coverage.
Now, my understanding that this settlement was up to £12 million. Some of that money going into a charitable fund for Virginia Giuffre, the Queen also getting involved, lending him money. Now, the reason they are probably getting involved, reading between the lines, is because if he did go to trial, could you imagine how cataclysmic that would be, not only for him?
She even flashes Twitter DMs from ex-Arsenal star Ashley Cole, seeking advice on whether dating a notorious bad boy footballer would juice her profile. Hind reportedly warns her off. Meghan thanks her, and the rumor lives on in Red Top lore. For an outsider, she already knows exactly which headlines she wants. But paper clippings were only one ladder. According to persistent, if unverified chatter, the real networking happened offshore. Former sorority sisters insist Meghan spent spring of 2001 hopping luxury yachts owned by a shadowy financier named Yuan Elish, a name that surfaces whenever investigators map Prince Andrew's pre-Epstein travel circle. Photos remain elusive, evidence circumstantial, yet social media sleuths point to one blurred shot from Capri, a woman in a white Panama hat beside dentist-turned-fixer Karina Shuliak, Epstein's final girlfriend. No smoking gun. Just enough haze to keep the rumor oxygenated. Then comes Hong Kong, 2012. Suits is mid-season 2. Meghan's screen time barely 5 minutes an episode. Yet she lands a business-class junket, 5-star suite, and a now-scrubbed Diva Universal interview.
But the rest of the royal family. So, unwelcome headlines again. Maybe some people will be asking, why are the Queen and Prince Charles lending him the money to do this?
Is it their money?
Well, it's essentially their private money. But again, that's a conversation for another day,
point, isn't it?
Yes, because whether their own private funds are actually taxpayer-related funds. We have been told that no taxpayer money has been used.
The South China Morning Post gushed over her dim sum tour. Local stylists recall her fittings at Sam's Tailor, but the televised Q&A vanished from company servers within a year. Coincidentally, there's that word again. Prince Andrew lobbed an unofficial trade swing through Hong Kong during the same window, despite having stepped down as Britain's formal trade envoy. Parliamentary critics later flagged the trip as business as usual for the embattled Duke. Witnesses claim both appeared at the same after-party in Central, though no photo has ever surfaced. Maybe cameras malfunctioned, maybe NDAs didn't. September 10, 2013, New York City. The Novak Djokovic Foundation Gala at Capitale. Getty Images captures Meghan on the red carpet, labeled simply model actress, flanked by none of the A-listers her publicist had teased. Inside, power tables buzz with Naomi Campbell, Anna Wintour, and, according to later Telegraph reporting, Prince Andrew. Hiding in plain sight during a month-long stay, ostensibly booked for Asian trade stops. Royal accountants cried foul. Tabloids shrugged.
However, the fact that they're doing this in order to try and get rid of this situation begs more questions than it answers, I think. And, you know, we're going to be asking more questions about this as well, because Ghislaine Maxwell is in court tomorrow in New York, trying to seek a retrial for her case.
Meghan left with a single paid-for snap that she'd circulate years later as proof she belonged. Again, present but hardly visible, unless you knew where to look. April 2015 brings Istanbul's grand opening of Soho House, playground of billionaire Ron Burkle. Meghan posts one photo with Eddie Redmayne. Daily papers list every face in the frame except hers. Online sleuths later noticed that Prince Harry was also in Turkey that weekend for Gallipoli commemorations, and royal cousins were spotted at the same launch party. Burkle, incidentally, owns the private jet that flies Meghan to a Jamaican wedding the following year, while Harry slums it in economy. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe another soft introduction hidden behind velvet ropes. Back at Northwestern, those missing semester whispers gain new weight. Official spreadsheets confirm Meghan enrolled in IES Abroad Madrid from September to December 2002. What they can't confirm is how she afforded routine weekends on the Côte d'Azur, stories she later shared with sorority sisters.
I don't think it's over from Prince Andrew by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it absolutely is not. If he thought that was it done and dusted, absolutely
no.
not. Now, talking about the Queen, though, she's leaving the office, it would seem. She's going to be working from home.
Yes, she is. Well, she's used to it. You know, we've seen her on Zoom. Her Majesty is feeling better, I understand. Right. She's just recovered from her bout of COVID. She's been doing engagements virtually. However,
the same sisters recall her raving about a crazy rich Asian tycoon funding yacht excursions. Details eerily close to the footprint of Prince Andrew's associate network. Hard evidence remains absent. Patterns, however, stack like nesting dolls. Zoom out to 2019 to 2025. Epstein is dead. Official ruling. He took his own life in a Manhattan cell, while Prince Andrew's BBC interview detonates whatever reputation he had left. Grand jury chatter, civil suit payouts, a Netflix miniseries, and finally a July 2025 Department of Justice memo claiming no client list exists and no further charges will be pursued. Even FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino threatens resignation over the memo's opacity. Yet through every headline, Meghan's name remains conspicuously untethered. No subpoenas. No subpoenas, no pixelated yacht photos on court exhibits. Either she was never truly connected, or she played the long game better than anyone imagined. Which loops us back to that Windsor whisper. Was Harry's bride really meeting the Duke of York for the first time? Or was that wide-eyed, "Who's that?" a masterstroke, wiping decades of rumor with a single shrug? In drama school, they teach that the best actors don't cry on cue. They make us believe the cue never existed. So here's the ledger. Verified facts. Hong Kong junket. Djokovic dinner. Istanbul launch. Place Meghan in multiple royal adjacent rooms years before Kensington announced their relationship. Verified travel logs put Prince Andrew in the same cities, often the same weekends. Add unverifiable but persistent stories. Yachts, benefactors, vanished interviews, and the plot thickens faster than palace pastry cream. Is it all coincidence? Social climbing stratagem? Or just internet myth-making gone wild? Drop your theory below. Was Meghan the accidental ingenue who married into chaos, the seasoned insider who played naive to perfection, or the palace's greatest unsolved plot twist? Your guess is half the fun, because in royal storytelling, the crown is optional, but the mystery is mandatory.